Number one, it's important to understand warm market versus cold market. And there's probably tons of training on this out there. But one thing that he really touches on is, obviously imagine like a bullseye, right? Your warm market, which is your family and your super, super close friends, they're in the very center of that bullseye. And then it's like acquaintances, then it's, people that you know on social media, then it's people that you've never met and never even connected on social media. So think about a fire. A fire burns hottest from the inside out, okay? So your warm market is going to be your most important asset when you first start this. And so he talks about like building locally and then expanding. It's the same with your warm market. You want to go from hot to super cold, right? So from the people who know, like, and trust you already, your best friend, your brother, sister, and then it goes into extended family and friends, and then it goes into acquaintances. You guys understand the concept, right? But that's the most important thing. Your fire burns hottest from the inside out. Don't do yourself a disservice and try to be successful before you tell the people who are close to you. Okay, because that's what a lot of distributors try to do. We try to become a success before we start inviting people along on the journey. But you've got to invite people along on the journey the whole way there, even if they follow you or not, doesn't matter. So in the same respect, you want to start a little bit local, and then you can start to expand, right? And the beautiful thing about social media is it helps you to expand. And of course, now we have 3 countries that we can recruit from. Of course, the US, the Canada, and the UK now as well. So secondly, do your absolute best to commit 1 to 1.5 hours every single day to this business. Now, one thing that I like to help people understand is like little power pockets of time. In the beginning, you guys know this, I've said this so many times. I used my drive time to work, from work, to the gym, from the gym. That was almost all the time I got, during the week. So that 30 minutes to work, 30 minutes home, 30 minutes to the gym, 30 minutes home, that was it, right? But that's still 2 hours a day. So if you have a drive that's 10 minutes, you pop in personal development, schedule a phone call, reconnect with an old friend, whatever you can do, listen to trainings, podcasts. If you have at least 10 minutes, then you can be working your business. Every time you go to the bathroom, can you read 1 page in a book? Every time? Of course you can. That's probably like a minute. So if you pee 10 times a day, then you're reading 10 pages a day. Easy, right? I know it's graphic, but so many people are like, well, I don't have any time. Okay. Do you get a break at work? And if you're like, well, I don't get a break, well, then you need to take a break, because by law, you should be taking a break. So you need to take a break. And people get smoke breaks. Why can't you get a book break? Why can't you get a phone call break? Why can't you deserve this, right? So you need to take those breaks, and you need to use those breaks to build your business, because more than likely that job that you have, it's not going to pay for your kids' college funds, your retirement, more than likely you might have a sweet job that does. But I'm just saying, you have to be able to find an hour to an hour and a half a day in order to really effectively build this business. I'm talking to people who are like truly committed to making this work, right? And that's what I did every day. I did at least an hour and a half on the weekdays, and usually like 4 hours on the weekends, each day. So that's what I did, right? First 2 years. And now I still only put in, make 10 hours a week, right? So, it's definitely doable. So here's the thing that you need to ask for yourself. And then you also need to find out from your coaches when you're getting them started. The first thing is, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want from this business? And I like the way Christine words it. Christine Dwyer, my sponsor, she always asks her coaches, what do you want to get out of being a coach? And that is a really, really critical question, because you need to find out, like, are they just looking for accountability? Are they just looking to be part of something that's positive? Are they just looking to have a friend? Are they looking to lose weight? Are they looking to feel better? What are they looking for? Usually it's one of 3 things that can be categorized in either more time, more money, or recognition, some type of recognition, a feeling of significance or importance. Okay. It can almost always be categorized in those three things. So, and then of course with Beachbody, it might be the accountability piece, right? So you need to know the direction that they want. If they just want accountability, you don't want to be pushing them to find an hour and a half a day to work this business. If they want to work the business, then you need to be focusing on business activity, and you're gonna treat them a little bit differently than if you were to treat somebody who wants to lose weight. Somebody who wants to lose weight, that needs to be that's the person that needs to be in a challenge group with you. You know, you have to know where to start someone. Number 4, going through a verbal contract with your new person. And we're actually going to go through that today. I'm going to kind of walk you through the process of doing a verbal contract. Number 5 is you need to go over the new distributor's initial business plan. So your new coaches, what are they going to do first? What are they going to do first? And I always recommend start in my training. And we kind of covered that last week. Why? Because number 1, they could get lost in Team Beachbody's site. And number 2, it could take up to 2 weeks to get accepted into Christine's. So I want to get somebody started right away that's not confusing. So that is the reason that I created that. So that's kind of their initial plan, is just get into the training, right? And then you're going to go over that with them as well. You're going to try to keep them accountable for that. And then the last thing is, you know, as we go through this today and you're like, man, I really blew it with so-and-so, or I never got this person started, or this person, they've never actually launched, then you can go back to that person and apologize to them and say, look, you always take the blame and you say, look, I don't think I started you right. I know that you had a goal of XYZ. Like, can we start over? I'd like to schedule a time with you to talk. Let's get this going, right? Now we're going to talk about the verbal contract. Here's the verbal contract that you can go over with your coaches. Or if you're just now coming into this too, you know, take this on as your personal verbal contract too. Number 1, you want to kind of lay out the ground rules, like, here's what I expect from you. Okay, here's what I expect from you. The first thing is you want to know, is your word good to me? Like, if you say that we have a call on Monday at 4, are you going to pick up the phone, or are you going to forget? Like, is your word good to me? This is important to establish this right from the get-go. I don't know how many people I've brought on board, and I'll schedule a call with them, and 2 calls in a row, they don't answer. I don't call back. I don't schedule that call again, because my time is valuable. And if I have to schedule it around my kids and making sure that they're taken care of, my time is valuable. So I want to know that they value my time and they also value their time. So they need to be putting it on their calendar. So ask them, you know, is your word good to me? Are you going to do the things that you say you're going to do? That's important. Number 2, how many hours a week can you find in order to make $50,000 a year in this business? How many hours a week can you find in order to make $50,000 a year in this business? And most people, I get this all the time, even though I say I still only work my business 10 hours a week, they say, oh, well, you obviously do this full time. And they don't believe me that I don't do this full time. No, I don't. I've always put in that amount, but it's always been consistent. That's the point, is it's been consistent. That's why it works. It might seem like I'm working more, but I'm not, because this is the type of business you shouldn't be working full time. You shouldn't, right? Part-time hours, full-time income. That's number 2. And if they're like, oh my gosh, I don't think that I could find 10 hours a week, then you can go through this with them. Okay, let's talk about how many hours you sleep, how many hours you eat. What about when you're getting ready for the day? What about time with your family? What about working? What about other miscellaneous tasks that you have going on? You can go through that with them, or just send them to the training that I have called How to Find Time to Work Your Business. And I have like PDF files that walks them through the process of okay, this is non-negotiable time. This is time that I really want, but I could give up. This is stuff that I shouldn't be doing. And so it walks them through that process to help identify little power pockets where they can work their business. Number 3, you want them to commit to a personal growth program. So just ask, are you willing to commit to a personal growth program with me? Are you willing to read some books, to listen to some podcasts, to do some training? Number 4, are you willing to do whatever I tell you so I can train you to be successful? Are you willing to do what I tell you so I can train you to be successful? And you just let them know, like, from the beginning, like, I'm almost going to treat you like an employee, like, do these things. Here's your checklist. I want you to do these things, but it's to get you to your personal goal, right? They already told you what they wanted. They already told you when they want to get there. So now your job is to help them get there. So if they said, I want to make $50,000 a year by 2 years' time, great. That is totally a doable goal. So my job is to help them get there. So what's not okay is somebody says, I want to make $50,000 a year within 2 years. And then they're not, every time we get on the phone, they say, oh, well, so-and-so called me and then I had to volunteer for this and then I had to go and do that. And so it's just been a really busy week and they're making excuses. Well, one thing that I need to be really clear with my coaches right away is, remember, this is your goal. This is not my goal. This is your goal. So if it's your goal, then why are you making excuses to me? Like, it has nothing to do with my success. Like, of course, the more successful I help you to become, the more successful I will become. So in that way, I'm invested, but this is your goal. So you're the one that's making excuses for yourself. So you just have to ask yourself, do we need to adjust the goal or do we need to adjust your priorities? So just let them know, like, I'm going to kind of treat you like an employee. I want to hold you accountable. It's because I want to get you to your goal. If your goal has changed, then let me know and we'll adjust accordingly. All right. Number 5, you want them to commit to not complaining about the price, because there's a price for everything. There's a price for getting in shape. There's a price for going to college. There's a price for everything, getting married, like everything else goes on the back burner. There's always a price. So I don't want that person to complain about the price, because again, this is their goal. Building a successful business is going to cost time and money, right? There is a financial investment. There is a time investment. You don't want to sell people a crock and let them believe that this is like a magic pill that if they open their Beachbody business, people are going to flock to them and they're going to start making tons of money. You have to set legit, what do you call that? What they expect, legit expectations, and let them know there is a price and the price is going to be time. And so a lot of people, what they give up, and I just tell people what they give up is girls' night. They give up some fun stuff on the weekends. They give up their maybe their Starbucks every day. They give up television time. But you have to figure out right now, what is the price going to be for you and how can you get there? Number 6, are you willing to put me in front of 3 to 5 of your best friends and prospects? Meaning you should be putting a brand new coach in the driver's seat and letting them explain the business is the most high stress situation possible, right? So you want to be the one doing the brunt of that work. And if you're like, well, Holly, I'm just brand new myself, then fine, go upline. Find somebody in your upline that is willing to help you navigate the process of starting and of explaining this business to somebody. And usually it's using the form of videos. So meaning like sending someone a presentation or some type of video that can explain things first so they get their feet wet. And then from there, you can answer their questions and comments. So my initial presentation to somebody is not usually over the phone with them. I send them a video, a short one that kind of explains an overview of what being a coach is all about. If they still want more information, I give them 2 options. Do you want me to get on the phone with you? Let's talk about this a little bit more. Or would you prefer that I send you a longer video that explains a little bit more about the process? So that's part 1, is you have to tell them, this is what I expect from you. All right. The second thing you go over is, this is what you can expect from me. This is what you can expect from me. Number 1, I'm going to give you my time and I'm going to get you started right in this business. I'm going to take the shots and the tough questions from you. So the people that have the tough questions, I'm going to take those for you. So don't even worry about that. I want you to win. Okay. So I'm going to help you sign up your first 2 distributors. I'm going to help you sign them up. And the way that you do that, of course, is you want to get on the phone with them. You can do 3-way calls. Just be in the process of helping these people get started. Number 2, I'm going to give you my knowledge, everything you need to know about the business, right? So you want to effectively point them to the trainings and then set up a time once a week where you can speak with your new coach. Set up a time once a week where you can answer the questions that are the hard stuff, but anything that they can learn from a video, please send them a video link, or at least let them know, okay, that's in the Coach Online office and this is where you can find it, right? Because you don't want to recreate the wheel or regurgitate information that's already out there. You want to spend your time working with that person to go into tough questions that they have, right? Something that's specific, a challenge specific that they have. Number 3, you're going to let them know, look, I'm going to be your business mentor. I'm going to do it for you at first, then I'm going to do it with you, and then you're going to do it. That is the process. So first I'll do it for you. I'll do a presentation for you. Then I'll do it with you. So we'll split it half and half. And then you're going to take the driver's seat, and I'll just sit back and watch, and I'll tell you how you can improve on that. That's ideal, you guys. And also let them know, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be very honest with you. So things that you need to work on, to improve, to fix, I'm going to help you navigate those situations, and I'm going to be very honest with you. Number 4, my word is good to you. So if I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. If I say I'm driving to an event and I'm going to meet you there, I'm going to meet you there. If I say I'm going to call you at a certain time, I'm going to call you. So that means that we have to step up our personal integrity too, and let people know, no matter what, I am going to follow through on my word. I'm not perfect, but I'm going to follow through on my word. So that means that we have to take that on, right? So you always hold yourself to a higher standard than the people that you bring in. Number 5, I'm going to be truthful. So I hope that you're not, just know that I'm going to be truthful. If I think that you're being too wordy, or if I think that, I'm going to say it in love, but I'm not worried about you liking me. I want you to respect me and respect the process, and know that you will get results. Okay. So I want you to be successful. And that's the reason why I'm going to be truthful with you. You can't, just like with our kids, if you have kids, and you understand it's more important for them to be successful and to know, to learn life skills than for them to be your best bud, right? That's more important. So same thing with your distributors. Number 6, our goal is to get you to move up in rank. That's the goal, to move up in rank, is to move up in rank, to build your business, to make money. Number 7, I'm going to work as hard as you work. So I'm willing to work as hard as you're willing to work. But that means if you back off, I'm going to back off. If you disappear, I'm going to disappear. If you're willing to run, I'm going to run. So you need to let them know, like, you set the tone, you set the pace for this business. You set the tone.